Hi everyone, Leslie here. Thank you for joining me today. So this is a really different one actually. So I hope it's helpful because this is something I really wish someone had told me when I started wire wrapping. And it's how to look after your hands. Or how to look after your fingers, more to the point. So this is something that I get asked quite a lot, especially by beginners or people starting to sort of wire wrap more frequently, is how to look after your hands. And one of the things that I've learned over time is that taking care of your hands isn't really optional if you want to keep creating comfortably, because if your fingers split or get sore or chafe or chap, it can become quite uncomfortable when you're sort of wrapping the wire around, especially along the side of your fingers here and on your thumbs. So you can see sort of like where my fingers get quite dry. And also you can get calluses and all sorts of things. So one of the things that I always sort of say to people is to make sure that your tools are supporting you, they're helping you. So a lot of my pliers, certainly my cutters and my flat nose pliers, which I use a lot, have got these sort of comfort grip holds here. They're nice wide handles, so they are quite comfortable in the hand. But obviously you want to make sure that you're not using tools that are damaging your skin. Even the chain nose pliers, these are quite basic ones, but they've still got like a nice sort of shape on them, and you can move them nice and easily in your hand because they're so light. So make sure that your tools are supporting your wire wrapping and obviously sort of helping you. Your bail making pliers, obviously, they're going to help with sort of rounding the bails off. You want to be able to use those. And then the nylon nose pliers for straightening the wire out rather than using your fingers can also save a lot of discomfort. So using the right tools at the right times is one really big key sort of point to sort of looking after your hands. You want to reduce the strain that you feel through your fingers as much as possible. The way you grip the wire, obviously that's something that's going to have an impact as well. The wire, obviously the oils in your skin can dry out if you're doing a lot of crafting, so we want to make sure that when we're gripping the wire, we're not leaving too much of that oil from the skin on the wire. But also that if you're gripping tight and you're twisting, you're gonna damage your fingers, potentially sort of damage the skin layers and cause yourself sores, which isn't going to be much fun. So try not to clench your fingers, try not to clench your fists, because that's going to also impact the tension that you're pulling through your wire. So try and be as relaxed as possible as you're wrapping or moving the wires around. Most of the pain that I tend to get is more from tension or from the wires sort of digging into my fingers as I'm trying to pull it around. So just be consciously aware of how much tension you're holding through the wire. What we can also look at is not doing too much, not just sitting all day constantly wrapping. Have little breaks, make sure the hands are nice and relaxed. Do some finger stretches, you can do some finger movements and just trying to sort of keep that mobility through the joints. And then one of the things that I do as well is I use these little silicone finger protectors. So you can get these on Amazon. You can cut the tops off. What I quite often do is just cut the top off, so I've still got access to my fingernail, which if you watch my tutorials, I rely on my fingernails quite a lot. But if they do start getting sore, then I will whop these on straight away just to protect any further damage. Similarly, I have been known to wrap electrical tape around my fingers as well, just at the points where it's dry, just to help protect. And then skincare. So you may not think it, but working your hands or working with moisturizer into your hands is really important. Making sure that they stay nice and supple, nice and soft, they're not dry, they're not cracking, because that's when they're going to start getting really sore. What I use is at night I use this Working Hands cream, which is really good for dry and cracked hands. And then what I do if they are getting dry is I will use a pair of cotton gloves I will apply this and then I will put these on so it doesn't obviously transfer onto bedclothes, bed linen, or you know, whatever I'm handling. And that obviously locks the moisture into the hands as well. So that's obviously really, really good. Something else that also is quite important is your posture. So if you're sitting at your workbench and you're wrapping, you want to make sure that your arms are relaxed and you're not kind of elevating, holding them up and tensing through your shoulders, because again, that's going to impact down through the wire into your wrap, and it shows when your tension is too high. That is when you start to get misshaped weaves and shapes. So just be aware of how you're holding your shoulders and how you're sitting. Just try and be really relaxed and really, really sort of soft through your arms and hands. The truth is, wire wrapping should never really hurt. It shouldn't be a painful thing. Tired hands are quite normal, and it is always wise to rest when your hands do become tired or you start to feel aches in your joints. Like I say, your hands being tired is normal, but pain isn't. So looking after your hands isn't just about putting cream on or making sure that your skin is nice and soft. It's about maintaining the mobility and the stability through your joints. And then obviously everyone's got different things that they'll say. Everyone's got different tips. But if you found something that really helps you in helping your hands stay nice and pain-free, sore-free, however you want to say it, let me know in the comments. And just remember that moisturizer, good tools, good technique, and some gloves is always going to be quite useful. Okay, so look after the tools that are most important, which is obviously your hands. Without these, you can't do anything. So I hope that has been a little bit helpful. Like I say, I really wish someone had told me some of these tips back when I first started. So hence why I'm doing it now. But get yourself some working hands or other moisturizers that work for you, and just start looking after the tools that you need the most, which, like I say, is your hands. I hope that's helpful. Any questions at all, just pop them in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It really, really helps the channel sort of be seen by more people and develop and grow. But until the next one, guys, I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.